Welcome to Countertop Epoxy. My name is Levi. Right now we're finishing out a 3,800 square foot floor. The concrete wasn't poured perfectly, and then it was partially sealed, and an acetone stain had kind of failed on the floor. So we're just surface grinding it, getting it all smooth, taking off some of the high spots. We're gonna fill our expansion joints in there and try to do as monolithic and seamless of a pour as possible. We're gonna be doing really simple, so I think we're gonna be most likely doing a gray base and a charcoal metallic, like a really light charcoal metallic on top. So I hope you guys follow along and have fun.
So you don't usually mix outside on another spot, so you don't drip shit on the floor in here?
I'm never worried if I'm like right on where I'm gonna be pouring, because I'll just wipe this area down with alcohol last.
You want me to do that?
I just wonder, I just ask, because I avoid that myself, so I don't make a fucking mess.
Ooh, oops. Max, could I grab?
Keep it spinning, but slowly pull it out of the pail. Now slowly pull it up, 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 up. Yep, you're good.
That's not the one you're not pouring that in here, you're pouring this in here.
Yeah.
You want to start over here?
Yeah, wherever you want to start here. We'll just work.
This side
Oh, maybe we should quickly move all this stuff over so Max can finish grinding.
Really want to squeeze well.
So this is my process that I've been doing pretty successfully for a while now for fractures. This is kind of what I teach people to do. That'll expel any moisture out of that fracture. And you'll be coming along with your squeeze bottle.
Yeah.
And just a drizzling a line down in there, because then in there it's a real skinny fracture, just a fracture. And that's just gonna be stacking up in there. And then we'll be blocking that out and just skimming it as fast as we can with filling the wall epoxy in. And then
work my way out.
Yeah, and usually what I do is I'll have a knife that's like a plastic knife or just a cheap metal knife, and I'll bend a kink kind of right in it. So it can just barely profile it a tiny bit high, because kind of one of the mandatory parts of what we're doing is everything we fill has to stay a little bit proud of the floor. So.
You want it proud of the floor?
Yep, that has to be, because we have to run and grind all our joints. So, smaller the better. Here you are. The more time we have to run this, I guess we just don't want to get ahead of Monty, you know. Walk in church like a few months later, a few weeks later, and wow, I realized, oh no, yep, that's what's on there. Here too, I just realized. We're only ever going to I don't walk too fast to where this thing floats.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I'm seeing it.
You
It's
see
like,
how much easier that is than anything? Dude,
it looks like polished concrete behind you.
that's amazing.
Well, and
Hey, every once in a while, I'll pray to Jesus. No, I always pray. Way out.
the whole thing?
Yeah. Little trick. I don't know how much I trust this. I used to run magic shell all the time for concrete. This is my only way I did decorative concrete overlays, but usually by hand on my hands and knees.
Yeah.
And I'm really against them for most epoxy guys because they'll try to do flood coats with these and they will ruin their floor every time by being too thin in spots. But if I don't want something that's going to take us twice as long because it's going to take a crazy skill set either. So speed is what's going to control the thickness of the pull. See, if I go too slow, it's going to leave a void down there in the concrete. This is crossroad.
So that means I won't come back down and go this way? Or you just...
Yeah, or just anyway.
You want it? What do you need, bud?
Then we did a flood coat of gray, just mostly because we weren't really sure exactly what we were going to do today, and I want just like a perfectly flat floor. And now we're doing a metallic black with charcoal sprayed in. And I don't know, you guys will be the judge. Tell me if you think it sucks. The drying time, this is overnight. This will be cured walkable lightly within about 12 hours. You park cars on it in about 48 to 72. I always try to go for that 3 days just because it's so much harder 3 days later. I'm talking about epoxy, everybody. You'd have to have a doctor if that. So anyways, this is in-floor heat in here. So we're able to get this floor. Our slab's actually 85 degrees, which is just baking this epoxy, which I love. Heat is always your friend if you're working with a high-grade epoxy and trying to kind of accelerate that cure. Oh, you're okay, man. Oh, you were good. Let's watch our door too. I'll try to, I just almost swiped it. We're all sleeping upstairs. Yes, sir. Yep. And then we'll have time to, if whatever we need to do. Yeah. Huh? What's that? Oh, right on, man. I didn't realize that. That's cool. I love granite. That's kind of what I started out doing. That's kind of why I love epoxy, is I can do a lot of really fun high-end marble looks with it. And kind of, we do a lot of areas where granite was hard. I used to own a granite shop, and I kind of started just doing an epoxy in the areas where it was like difficult fixes and stuff like that for granite. And then I started just solving so many problems. People started preferring it in a lot of places over granite. So kind of surprised me even, so, but it's fun. Oh, this is turning out nice. I don't know. You all let me know what you think, but man, from kind of an ugly old, not the best poured concrete to this, I'm freaking happy. And you know what? Couldn't have happened at a better guy's place, so. We kind of squeezed this job in. I was like kind of excited because it was a few miles from my office, and now I'm really glad we did because it's worth doing it. I can do a little moonwalk dance. Grab my crotch and walk backwards.